Now, to provide a brief history on the concept of vaccines, in the 1790s it was observed that milkmaids who were commonly infected with cowpox were not affected by the smallpox disease. Edward Jenner, a physician and scientist from Berkeley, England, confirmed this observation by performing experiments on James Phipps, an 8-year-old boy. Jenner first exposed Phipps to pus from the wounds of a milkmaid who had cowpox. This resulted in Phipps contracting a mild case of cowpox. Phipps was later exposed to scabs from a smallpox patient and was unaffected by this exposure. This process is nothing like vaccines today, but the discovery was an important first step that got us here.
Now, what are vaccines? How do they work? Well, let's find out. So, vaccines depend on what type of infection you have. You may have a bacterial infection, seen by these little critters at the top, or you may have a viral infection, seen by these at the bottom. So what happens is a bacterial vaccine is made by taking the little blue sugar coating around bacteria and incorporating that into a vaccine. And then you have your viral vaccines, which break up parts of the virus, or they can even incorporate the whole virus into the vaccine. But the trick is, with both of these, is that they are not active parts of either the bacteria or the virus. So your immune system recognizes these foreign materials, and this triggers an immune response. This is the thing that starts to make you feel better. So, in essence, that's how vaccines work.
Typically, before people get a vaccine, they want to know how effective it is. The flu and chickenpox are a couple of the most common vaccinations. Starting with the flu, the vaccine has a 40 to 60% vaccine effectiveness depending on the year. The reason it varies is because vaccinations are for select strains of the virus before knowing what virus is going around. Age and health are the main characteristics of the person being vaccinated, which have an influence on how effective the vaccines are. The flu vaccine is recommended to have yearly. Now with the chickenpox vaccine. The chickenpox and MMRV vaccinations protect children and adults for chickenpox, mumps, and measles. It has a 90% effectiveness after both doses by the age of 6. The vaccine is usually distributed in children.
Now it's time for some rapid-fire myth debunking. I'm going to present to you 3 popular beliefs about vaccines and the reasons why they are categorically untrue. Let's start with everyone's favorite. Vaccines cause autism. According to the CDC and numerous other professional medical sources, which cite numerous extensive studies on the subject, including using different types of vaccines and studying specific ingredients, there is no link between vaccines and autism. Myth number 2. Vaccines give you the disease you are trying to immunize against. It's true that vaccines can cause mild symptoms that may resemble the disease. However, this only occurs in 1 in a million cases, and even then, it's a sign that the immune system is responding to the vaccine, not the vaccine itself. Myth number 3. Natural immunity is better than immunization via vaccine. We see a lot of this rhetoric with COVID right now. We catch the virus, we'll get over it, and we'll acquire immunity. However, even in a, for now, vaccine-less environment, the dangers far outweigh the benefits. In any case, the symptoms of the disease pose a far greater risk to your health than a vaccine would.
The world has been plagued with coronavirus for over a year, and it has had huge effects on the world as a whole. This epidemic is the cause of the highest death toll in recent memory, and is showing no signs of slowing down. Thankfully, pharmaceutical companies are working tirelessly on finding an effective vaccine for this virus. The main 5 companies, Pfizer, Janssen, Moderna, Novavax, and AstraZeneca, are all in Phase 3 of their vaccine research. Phase 3 that means that the vaccine is currently being tested before further steps. Pfizer estimates the first batch of vaccines will be distributed around mid-December and predicts that it will be able to produce anywhere from 15 to 20 million vaccines by the end of the year. Here's the current timeline for the vaccine. In November of this year, Pfizer estimated that the vaccine was about 90% effective. In December, the first batches can be expected to be distributed to both healthcare workers and the elderly. Finally, in spring to summer of 2021, batches will begin being publicly available. These are all just speculations, but they are all put out by health officials and could change. But in all, it seems like the virus is at least starting to wind down, and we can see the light at the end of the tunnel due to the vaccines produced by Pfizer.